I grew up in the woods outside of a small town in Norway. I had a very happy childhood and spent a lot of time in the woods exploring and building cabins. I was very social and an outgoing person. I had many friends that I regularly met and had a wonderful and a kind family. I cannot remember a single instance of any stuttering or blocking from that time. But in elementary school, I remember it was very scary to read aloud, which I sometimes had to do. To the best of my knowledge, I think that planted the stuttering seed. However, I cannot remember any occurrences of stuttering or blocking until many, many years later. After elementary school, I was still a social person with many friends, which I regularly met. Life, as I can remember, has been unaffected until I started at the university many years later. And since that time, I have been a covert stutterer. At least I don't think other people have really noticed it. Blocking has mainly been my problem, especially when I speak for longer periods and to groups of people. I haven't put in much energy on figuring out why this happens. One reason I can think of is that I have been a perfectionist and planned words too much, so much that it became a habit and blocking became an issue. I could plan everything I was going to say in a presentation, word by word. Additionally, I studied engineering, which required a lot of analysis and perfectionism. Then I think everything snowballed from there. So generally in life, I've been able to manage things quite well on all fronts. But that does also mean there have been situations where I haven't said all the things I wanted to say because I did not want to show any blocking or stuttering. Therefore, I have usually spoken little and spoken short sentences only. I think all this have made me change my lifestyle and made me a less social and outgoing person. And throughout the years, I have regularly looked for ways to stop stuttering, but I did not find anything promising. I did not believe in the therapy programs I found, which was very expensive. I knew it had to be possible to stop stuttering because I had been fluent for a period of about 2 years, but I relapsed. I lacked awareness and I didn't know what to do back then. And from there, it gradually became worse. At that time, I did absolutely no conscious actions to become fluent. I didn't really think of stuttering either, but I think these factors facilitated my fluency. In my job, I started on a long and exciting project which lasted for 2 years. I was very open about what I could do and what I could not do. This helped me to build confidence because I was always able to deliver high quality work. I spoke in short increments and gradually increased the length of them over time. And life wasn't so busy that I couldn't reflect and see all its events in perspective. The environment I was in consisted of very supporting and knowledge-sharing people, which I think helped build confidence. I did not care at all about what others thought of me or thought of what I said. I did not have the same emphasis on perfectionism. And because all of these reasons, it was easier for me to focus on my message. I really missed the period and I had to do something about it. And my journey towards fluency started at the end of 2021. I don't remember exactly how, but I found a stuttering forum on Reddit where I started to read and ask questions. I randomly came in contact with one of WSSA's coaches, which suggested this book, and I checked it out. That book was spot on from the beginning, so I continued to read. Soon I noticed that I had been using some of the crutches for a long time, but I was not aware of them and did not have a system like Lee has. After reading the book for a half week, I emailed Lee and asked for coaching. He replied the next day and we set up a coaching session a few weeks later. We had our first session in the middle of January 2022. In total, we had 7 sessions and my fluency has improved a lot since we first started talking. Additionally, I've had a few sessions with Pratyushwa. I become a lot better at not planning words, and I am a much better speech cop. Since I started this program, I've been reading aloud for a minimum of 1 hour daily, doing 2 hours or more of auto-suggestion treatments and practicing crutches. Some days I could read for 5 to 6 hours straight. I listened to recordings of my auto-suggestions while I slept. In addition to this, I signed up to WSSA and started to listening to a lot of different coaching videos. I've also joined the crutch practice sessions, which I think too few people participate in. The sessions are very good to practice and get the exposure you need. These activities help me become increasingly more fluent and more comfortable in speaking to groups. And for me, the hardest part has been the crutches. I have been experimenting with the crutches and using different combinations of them. It started with crutch 1, and it worked great with the blocks that randomly appeared. I continued with combining crutch 4 and 10, and with these 2 crutches, I was able to speak better and for longer periods of time. I don't know what has helped me the most, but what I'm sure of is that reading aloud while practicing crutch 8 and 9 has helped me a lot. The key has been to do this so much that it becomes a habit, and to do that, you need to go all in and have extreme focus. So 2022 for me has been a very troubling year with a lot of things that have happened and affected the way I've been able to focus on practicing the methods in this program. In periods, it has simply not been possible for me to do as much as I wanted. However, by comparing me in the beginning of 2022 against me in 2023, there is a very big difference. I've been able to use the crutches automatically in high pressure situations. It might sound a bit strange, but my job as a consultant has helped expedite the process, as I can speak a lot to build new habits and fluency memories during my workday. To sum up 2022, the achievements I'm most proud of has been the following: physically presenting to a group of 10 or more leaders in a big boardroom, physically held a speech in front of 30 to 40 people, and arranging numerous workshops and holding different presentations. And going forward, I will focus more on practicing crutches and getting physical exposure. I'm also going to join Toastmasters and get some extra practice. So 2023 will be a very exciting year. And to end this speech, I want to thank Coach Lee and the other coaches that made this possible. I also want to thank those that host and participate in the crutch practice session. And I also want to thank all of you that support WSSA and participate in the SAM meetings. Thank you all.